morning, my faithful, loyal YouTube subscribers. Today is Sunday. It is July 25th. The year is 2021. I was sitting here watching the news, and we're still in the coronavirus pandemic. The Delta virus is running around here now. Basically, a mutation of the original COVID-19 has mutated to a much stronger virus, and it's running around here terrorizing the neighborhoods, killing folks. Though killing people who haven't got the vaccine. Luckily, I did have my vaccine, and most of my family members have gotten the vaccine, and most of my friends are. But I do have some holdouts who have not gotten the vaccine. In fact, my sister's husband, he was in the hospital earlier this week because he had not got the vaccine, and he obviously got sick with COVID-19. I don't know which variant it was, but he's in the hospital. He's out now, though. However, all right, so I was looking at the past few days. I've been following this story here in Atlanta. A woman disappeared. Her name was Mirsha Victor. She's 23. Mirsha, M-I-R-S-H-A, Victor. She's only 23 years of age. She disappeared. She went to go visit some man. I'm not sure. It's a guy named Dennis Lane. He was 41. They arrested him on July 9th, just one day after Victor was reported missing from the Panthersville area. They also arrested his brother and another woman, Cleounsee Fisher and Ronisha Preckwinkle. Lane is charged with murder. Dennis Lane was charged with murder, false imprisonment, and tampering with evidence. False imprisonment and tampering with evidence. So Dennis Lane, so let's start at the top. Dennis Lane, the woman who was missing, Mirsha Victor, went to go visit Dennis Lane. Somehow or another, Lane killed her. And then he made a video of him having sex with her, which they found this video on his phone. He then dumped her body, I guess with the assistance of his brother and this other woman, in the woods someplace near where they lived at, in Henry County. So I don't know how the lady who was murdered, Miss Victor, who was only 23 years of age, met Dennis Lane, who was 41. But here's an interesting side note. Dennis Lane had just got through serving 17 years in prison for hold on a second. He's a registered sex offender and was convicted of assault in Illinois. And he served the 1999 case involved the rape of a 10-year-old girl. And he served a 20-year sentence, 20 years in prison. He was released on parole in May of 2019, so about 2 years ago, because we're now in 2021. For 2 years he was out on the street. He moved with his brother, Fisher, who was arrested also. They lived in a Stockbridge apartment complex for about a year. In that time, the police had been called to their home 5 different times. One of those calls to the police report was from June 21st, 2020, in response to Fisher, who was Lane's brother, shooting and killing his adult nephew, which was Lane's son. So, Mr. Fisher shot his nephew, which was his brother's son, and killed him. The shooting was preceded by an argument between Fisher and Trevin Lane, who was also wanted on a larceny charge in Illinois at the time was considered armed and dangerous. So the man that was shot and killed, which was Lane's son, was also wanted in Illinois for Trevin Lane, and he was he was wanted on a larceny charge in Illinois. At the time, it was considered armed and dangerous, the report said. Fisher and his brother allowed the younger Lane to keep guns hidden in a cable box behind their apartment. So Fisher knew that his nephew had easy access to weapons. In the course of the argument, Fisher went upstairs to get his own gun. According to the report, when he returned, he found Trevin Lane advancing aggressively toward him with a kitchen knife. Fisher fired one shot, hitting his nephew in the neck. The injury proved fatal, But investigators determined the shooting was in self-defense thanks to Trayvon Lane's history of violent crime and possession of a deadly weapon and access to additional weapons nearby, so they let him go. So this family, y'all, this is bizarre to me. You got this family, brothers shooting their nephews. The one brother served prison time, 20 years for raping a 10-year-old girl. I'm like, where these niggas come from? What is going on here? But this is the type of people that we all live in neighborhoods where we don't know our neighbors. Clearly in this neighborhood where this man was living in Henry County, the neighbors did not know all this drama was going on right next door to them. That this man had served 20 years in prison, that the nephew his son was wanted back in Illinois for son, he was shot and killed in an apartment. All this crazy shit on top of the fact that possibly 2 women were killed in this apartment, Miss Victor and another unknown person. They found 2 bodies. So, let's get back to what happened here. Let's see. So, the police went out to, this is a complicated story, y'all, because there's so many news. I'm trying to find the other article. Okay, so this is how they met. The woman who was killed, Ms. Victor, her mother, Marie Ellen, told Channel 2 Action News that Lane worked with her daughter at a food processing plant, but said they were just friends. She was just a very loving girl, fun, outgoing, always complimenting people. You know, anyone she meets, she was friendly, not scared of venture of meeting new people. She didn't even know what she was dealing with. She had no idea that she was dealing with a registered sex offender who had served 20 years in prison. She probably didn't know this, because obviously even the people who probably worked at the meat plant, they didn't. I mean, it's just a series of things that happened. That's why, guys, we gotta be careful who we let in our lives. We don't know these people. That's why I'm very adamant about people. We don't know their backgrounds. And I guess a simple Google search would probably would have helped this 23-year-old girl to find out what was going on, but she, I don't know. But listen, after killing and raping the victim, Ms. Victor, the accused disposed of the body. He had sex with her when she was dead, and he recorded it on his cell phone. After killing and raping the victim, the accused disposed of the body in physical evidence with aid from his brother, Cleounsee Fisher, and Ronisha Preckwinkle. He got some weird ass name. Ronisha Preckwinkle. Where did he get these names from? And also said in the warrant, other physical evidence of the murder and other possible murders have also been discovered in the residence. So there was more than just one murder that took place in this home, possibly other murders. When the police went out there to speak to Mr. Lane, because Henry police became involved after Lane used Miss Victor's phone to call her mother on July 9th, asking her to meet him at his apartment on Hudson Bridge Terrace in Stockville. The woman brought along police reinforcements. The Henry police, actually, she brought other police officers with her. She didn't go by herself to go meet with this crazy man. She said, oh no. So when she met with the man, and which I missed in this article, while the police arrested him, and I missed one article, I need to find that to explain what happened when her mother showed up at the residence to talk to him, and she brought other police officers. While he was being detained in a police car, investigators noticed a mattress with possible bloodstains in a dumpster across the street from his apartment, the report said. Inside the apartment, they found blood on the floor in the bathroom and a mattress missing. So the missing mattress, they found it on top of the dumpster with her daughter's, Miss Victor's, blood on it. He killed this 23-year-old woman and raped her, then tried to dispose of the mattress and the evidence. But it was blood on the floor in the bathroom, and it's a whole lot going on here, y'all. But they found her body, and they found another body near where this other body had been dumped. Let's see. So let me go to this other article. 2 bodies found in Stockbridge could be linked to the DeKalb woman's death. 3 facing murder charges, including 2 brothers. So this was the original article. The remains of the 2 women were found Tuesday morning in a wooded area off Hudson Bridge Road, a busy shopping district that also houses numerous apartment buildings. While those victims had not been identified, police, they did identify Mirsha Victor, a 23-year-old woman killed in Henry County and was reported missing out of DeKalb County. Okay, this is a whole lot to unpack here. I'm just reading this stuff, and I'm just like, this is why it took me a second to try to get my bearings on this, to try to understand what happened here. But now we know Miss Victor who was killed, met Mr. Lane at her job. They became friends. She went to visit him. He killed her, he raped her then, and disposed of her body. Her mom got involved because Mr. Lane used her phone to call her and invited her over to the apartment. She went and got police because she knew her daughter was missing, and went over there with the police, where they uncovered this heinous crime had happened. So according to a police report, a DeKalb detective was looking for Victor on July 9th after her cell phone was pinged at an apartment on Hudson Bridge Road. They found her cell phone was at his apartment. The detective asked Henry County police officer to help contacting the resident of the apartment, which was 41-year-old Dennis Lane, who had just served 20 years in prison. They knew his background. So Lane had called Victor's mother and asked her to speak with her at his apartment. So after he killed this woman, he used her phone and called her mother and asked her to speak to him. And Mr. Lane was explaining when she got over, the woman traveled with 2 officers to the apartment complex where they were met by Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane then told the woman, her mother, the mother of the victim that he killed, explaining he was not a bad guy and everyone was blaming him for Miss Victor being missing. The man went quiet once he learned the officers, that the other people with her were police officers. And that's what they found in search of the apartment. They found the mattress, the blood, and somehow or another they found the bodies. But they believe she was killed July 8th, the day she was reported missing from the Panthersville area. 3 days later, investigators asked for the public's help. They found a black Ford Mustang convertible. They found her car, which was a 2008 Ford Mustang convertible. They arrested these 3 people. Okay, so the point of this video, y'all, we have to be so careful the people that we allow in our presence, that we allow into our lives. She met this man at work, and for some reason, she felt she trusted him. And she went with him to her home, to his home, met him at his home, maybe met with him, who knows, where he proceeded to kill her and rape her for whatever reasons. And then the brother and the brother's girlfriend helped hide the body and dispose of the evidence once they found out what he had did. Now, the police think that there were other possible women also killed in this apartment. And these are black folks. They're not no crazy white folks. They ain't no damn Mexicans that jumped the border. These are niggas born and bred here in the United States of America. Y'all, there's a whole lot of crime taking place in black areas. The folks who lived in this apartment complex had no clue what was going on next door to them. Nor did they know it was a man who just served 20 years in prison, who should have been registered as a sex offender, but he never longer had to register anymore because he served 20 years in prison. All he had to do was report to an officer. And then my phone ringing, my damn sister when they call me back. But anyway, let's see if I can hide it. I can't turn it off. It's gonna keep ringing. But anyway, y'all better be careful out there. This 23-year-old girl had no clue when she left to go meet with that man that she was gonna lose her life. She saw someone that looked like her, a black person, and she trusted this man. They met at work. But this man had devious intentions from the second he met her, that he wanted to have sex with her. So she probably went over there thinking everything was going to be cool, not knowing that this man was going to physically assault and kill her, have sex with her dead body, and recorded it. They found the recording of him having sex with her on his cell phone. See, we sometimes think that this is heinous crimes that happen, that some white folks do. Crazy white folks, serial killers and stuff. This man is a serial killer. His family, something's wrong with these people. The brother, the nephew got killed, his son, these people are sick. But they're living in a community and you think they're everyday people. She probably, I don't know why she felt she could trust this man to go over there. That's why I'm y'all, when I tell you I don't go over nobody's house, and I've been like that for years. I don't go to other people's homes. Unless I've known the person for a long time, I'm going with other people. I'm not one of these people that enjoys ripping and running these streets, going to meet strange people, and I just don't do it. This girl was 23 years of age, and she was young, and she probably just didn't know any better. But if she had just Googled this man's name and researched him like I do a lot of folks, I mean, people, I Google their name. I said, let me see what's going on, who this person is. Had she Googled him, she probably would have realized that this man was from another state, had served 20 years in prison, 20 years. Now, it's possible that at this point they think he killed 2 people. They found 2 bodies. They know Miss Victor, but they're trying to identify the other person. And did he have anything to do with it? They're gonna find out. They have his phone. I'm assuming they're also gonna put charges against him for that. But he killed this girl. His brother and the brother's girlfriend helped hide the body. What kind of people? Who does this? Welcome to Niggerville, y'all. But you'd be lucky to get out alive. This woman went someplace she should not have gone. With someone she didn't know, she shouldn't have been with at all. She lost her life. And I don't fault her. But she's the innocent victim in this. But this devious, insane man who killed her and then raped her, then recorded it, it's kind of like some kind of a horror movie. Then, you know, I did the previous video about this guy going to meet somebody somewhere. Somehow, they threw him in the trunk of the car and set the car on fire. It's all Atlanta. You guys, we've got to learn to start being more selective about the people we bring into our inner circle and into our lives. We got to, and it's okay to ask questions. This girl lost her life because she trusted someone she met at her job. That's how she met him. And this man turned out to be one of the craziest people on earth that she could have met. I'd love to know why she felt safe enough to go over to his home. Like I said, I don't fault her. But she's young. Yeah, I'm not going to nobody's house. People are like, oh, why don't you come over here? We having a drink, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going. Mainly, I reached a point in my life where I'm good just sitting here on this couch watching TV and sipping on a cup of coffee. Because every time you let somebody into your life, every time I allow these crazy niggas into my front door, all hell break loose. So I don't want to come in here no more. I don't want to be bothered with them. I ain't trying to meet nobody. We ain't hanging out. I ain't coming to your house. You ain't coming over here. I'm good. You good. We can talk. Say, hey, I'm on the phone and keep moving. Because you don't know who you're allowing into your life. This young girl lost her life, and the other girl that was killed, that young man that was burned in that car, they didn't know. They saw somebody who looked just like them. And they trusted these individuals. And they lost their lives. And it happens so frequently here in Atlanta, it's just getting crazy. If y'all remember a story that happened a few years ago where this girl was going to college and she was staying with her roommate, who was her best friend, and the boyfriend raped her, and she went to the police, and she went back into the apartment, and the boy ended up killing her, and the girl, her best friend, ended up having to help hide the body. Who does that? Niggas. Oh, I know. White folks do it too. Yeah, we know that. But your best friend, let me get this straight. I'm sure y'all remember this incident a couple of years back. Your boyfriend rapes your best friend, then kills her, and you help hide the body, and y'all go to a Halloween party. As if nothing happened. And they took her body and dumped it out someplace off in DeKalb County. That girl who was killed in that incident and probably didn't have no clue that her best friend would be involved in her death. But after the rape happened and that man had got her drunk and raped her and assaulted her, she should have left that apartment and never went back. I know it's a lot to unpack here on this Sunday morning on July 25th, and it's raining outside. But I haven't wanted to do a video about this. Like, Ray was reading these reports about this girl getting killed and her brothers going to be arrested, and I was just in total shock. I'm like, what is going on here? But this kind of shit happens every day in Niggerville. It's happening right as I do this video. There's so much heinous shit going on in the black communities, and we just ignore it. Put our blinders on and keep it moving. Reverend Jesse Jackson is not going to show up here about this girl's death. There will be no parades, no marching, no protest over any of these people we discussed and that were killed, none of the above. But it should be. You guys, people, I hope that we learn from other people's mistakes. And in all these cases, I do not fault the victims, the man that was killed in that car, the student that was killed by her best friend, and the girlfriend, and certainly Ms. Victor, who was killed by this man she met at work. They trusted these people, unfortunately, and they lost their lives behind it. And it happens every day. But people who look just like me would harm me. We spend so much time on race-related issues and police officer killings, but we don't discuss this type of shit that goes on in our communities every day. People being burned alive, shot and killed, cut up in pieces. Bodies, it's just like, what enters into these people's mind? What goes through your head when you didn't kill somebody, you're trying to hide the body? And your brother and friends are trying to help you to move the body too. What is this? It's never entered into my mind. I heard a fly. And after I really mean I'm not trying to kill nobody. And then hide the body. I might say crazy shit like that in videos and stuff, just making it, but trust me, y'all, it's never entered into my mind to harm somebody in that way. But in our community, this stuff happens every day. Every day it happens. And people lose their lives because they trusted somebody was another black person that they thought they'd be safe with. And they end up being burned alive in the back of a trunk of a car. Or beat to death. And then their body raped. This man had sex with this woman after she was dead, and he recorded it on his phone. But he knew she was dead. He killed her. And then he recorded it on his cell phone. The police have the evidence. They found the recording. This man served 20 years in prison for raping a 10-year-old girl. He's only been out about 2 years, and look what he's done. Possibly one or more murders. He should have never got out that jailhouse. And once he goes back, he won't be getting out this time. Well, we've got to start being more careful. And don't trust these black folks, people who look like us. And I'm not saying people should run around paranoid and crazy, but we have to be more careful about who we allow in our inner circle and presence. How do we trust? How did this girl end up trusting this 41-year-old man? And if y'all saw a picture of him, you wouldn't believe what he looked like. He looked a hot-ass mess. This was not no handsome guy, attractive guy. What was she doing over there with this crazy man? And I don't fault her at all. We know who was at fault here. The crazy man and his brother, Dennis Lane and brother, but you all can read these stories on the Atlanta Journal-Constitution here in Atlanta. When I tell you these stories are happening in areas from Chicago, Miami, Florida, Jacksonville, Detroit, and a lot of shit going on in Detroit. New York, Los Angeles, in our communities. But like I said, Reverend Jackson and Jackson, there will be no protests, no parades, no protests, none of the above. Just a news article in the paper. I rarely saw anybody even post about it on Facebook or Instagram. I looked. Nobody said anything. I'm not scrolling. Did anybody know about this shit going on here in Atlanta? Did y'all see this case that happened? Nobody cared. No one cared. Be careful. Anyway, today is Sunday. It's July 25th. The year is 2021. You can check out these stories that about Miss Victor, who lost her life here in Atlanta. Mirsha Victor was her name. It's just a lot to read, it's a lot to unpack. You know, because kind of like it's like something that you see in a horror story or something, or a horror movie of some type. But this actually happened. It actually happened here in Atlanta. Well, in Atlanta suburbs, or good enough Atlanta. Anyway, I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If you have any, I look forward to reading you all's comments. Please share my videos with family members and friends. Love to hear you all's thought on this. I know it's a lot. I hope you all understand. If you didn't understand, you can read about it in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. They did multiple stories on the situation about Miss Victor's death. She was only Mirsha Victor. She's only 23 years of age. Well, I'm out of here, and enjoy you all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.